Hey everybody, Kyle here from Smoking Beaver. Today, this pH testing kit showed up in the mail. That is a very accurate, high quality meter, as well as a bunch of little goodies in the kit to help calibrate it and take care of it. I will show you guys all that in a sec. Over here, we also got a pH down adjustment fluid and pH up adjusting fluid, as well as some little pipettes to be accurate in our measurements. We're mainly probably going to be using pH down, because the tap water here is obviously too high on the pH scale, or too basic for plants, and that's probably going to be the case in most places. So pH down is going to be our friend, and then obviously if we over adjust, this will allow us to bring it back up. I'm going to open this kit up for you guys, show you all the contents, and then show you how to use everything here to properly pH your water before adding it to your soil or grow medium, so that your plants can be happy and absorb all the nutrients they need. Alright, here we are sitting on the floor, and I will show you guys everything that came in the kit. So what you see in front of me, this is all included in that one box with the pH meter, and that is what I've linked below. So we'll start, I guess, with this little stand thing. It even has these cool labels that it came with you can stick on there. You can see there's 3 different pH readings, and then also this 3M KCl. I'll start with that. That comes in this bottle here, and this is just a it's kind of like a storage solution, sort of. It says that if you store the meter for, I think it said a month or more without using it, that it's a good idea to let it soak in this KCl overnight. And that will kind of just rehydrate and prepare the meter for some more accurate readings again. So I just have that labeled, so if I ever need to do that, it's ready to go. And then the remaining 3 are each for 1 point of calibration, for a total of 3-point calibration that this meter allows. It already comes with, this is pH of 7 and pH of 4 solutions. That's what those spaces there are for. So right out of just the little box, you can 2-point calibrate it, just dipping them right into these jars. But of course, this kit comes with the 3rd fluid, so you can see that's the only one I've opened, because it doesn't have a little version of it. So you can just pour a little bit in there when you get the kit, and then you can do 1, 2, 3-point calibration. This little card it comes with will walk you through that. You just turn on the thing, put it into calibration mode, and then it'll show a little happy face once it is happy with the reading and that it's accurate, and then you basically calibrate it for each of those. So you start with 7, dip it in there, it'll put a smiley face, and then you can calibrate it for 7 pH. This just keeps all your readings accurate, and you know that if you put it in one of those and it starts to read a little wonky, you need to recalibrate it. You'll see when you get this, the probe will actually have fluid in there. I've replenished it already myself, but when it shows up, it'll be kind of all speckled with drops of water. That obviously freaked me out when I first got it, because I have no clue what this sort of thing was going to look like. But that's meant to have water in there. They actually recommend keeping it kind of moist, because there's a glass bead sort of thing at the bottom there, and it needs to stay sort of hydrated for accurate readings. So this is how you should store the meter. This is kind of an odd angle, but it's the best I can do for this. I've pulled the cap off. You can see that glass ball in there. It actually has fluid inside of it, and when mine showed up, there was a pretty significant air bubble inside of the glass bead that I noticed. I kind of assumed it was supposed to be there because it was pretty massive. But you'll see in the instructions it does say if there's air bubbles, you need to get them out, or it's not going to be an accurate reading. If you guys have that problem, all you got to do is kind of swirl it around in a glass with some distilled water. I took it out and gave it a good, pretty violent shake. Just make sure you have a good grip on the probe. And that got rid of the air bubble. So I've already calibrated the meter here just to make the video a little faster. And you can see there's an L, an M, and an H down there, low, medium, and high. That's showing that I've calibrated it 3 points. So the low would be the 4 pH, medium is 7, H there for high is the 10.01, that one there. And I have these 2 jugs. This one is filled only with tap water, and this sort of murkier looking one is filled with the same tap water that I put about a tablespoon of lemon juice in just yesterday. It's been sitting for around 24 hours. So this tap water, which is too high of a pH to give to plants, let's see what it reads at. Starting right away at 7.9, which is just nuts. That is obviously way too basic for plants. Water The happy face is there, so the probe is pretty happy with the reading, but you can see it just went down 0.1 there. I do find when you're reading more along the middle of the pH scale, the probe does need a good couple minutes to really dial in. 7.8 looks to be basically what we're sitting at. That is ridiculous, way too high. So I'm gonna take it out of there, give it another rinse, and let's see what the lemon juice did. All right, let's see what that reads at. Right away, 6.9, 6.8. Wow. So remember the pH scale, for every one increase of that first number there, so 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, that is a 10 times increase or decrease in the strength there. I just waited a little bit longer. Looks like it did eventually push down to 6.5. That is awesome. So it goes to show that in a pinch, if you don't have any sort of fancy adjustment fluids like that, lemon juice will potentially work. Also, something worth noting is that lemon juice adds kind of a lot of, dissolved solute into the water, whereas this stuff is meant to kind of reduce or increase pH. I just realized I picked up the wrong one. Without doing that. So lemon juice is good in a pinch. This stuff is still going to be a better option. All right, I've got the proper fluid opened up here. This is the pH down, and this is our basic tap water here. There's our pipette. Now, I am very much expecting this stuff to be quite powerful, so we are going to start with just a drop. There we go. One good drop in there. That, I mean, who knows what that'll do. That might do nothing at all, but it's good to test it and see. You might as well know what we're working with. Okay, let's see if that one drop did anything. Well, remember, this was reading at 7.8 before. What are we reading at? 7.2. Wow, so that's a 0.6 pH drop. So I'm going to dial this water in using the pH down. I've let the water and the probe sit for a couple more minutes after some adjustments, and we are sitting right on the money at 6.3. That is my goal for the plant water. So it's awesome to be able to dial in completely accurately like that. I'd say in the end, it's probably easier for me to just use the 0.5 milliliter mark on the pipette there. That seems to be about enough. And if it's not, you always have the meter there to dial it in. And unless you guys are measuring some really acidic or basic stuff, Apparis says that you only probably need to calibrate this thing again every week or so. You'll know if it starts to get a little wonky. You can use the calibration fluids to test it. But that's basically everything, guys. When you're done with it, just give it a little rinse in some distilled water. Pop the cap back on with some tap water in there. Keep it moist. And that is everything you need to know. I hope this video was informative for you guys. I hope it helped. Again, if you are interested in getting any of this equipment, the links are down below. You'll help the channel out with any purchases you make at no extra cost to you. So that is just sweet. If you guys like the content I make here on Smoking Beaver and want to see more, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It shows me lots of support. It's free for you. Everybody's happy. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. I hope you're all having a great new year, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.